Hi, I'm Lissy and welcome back to another video. Today I thought I'm gonna do a little book haul because I may or may not have went crazy at the book shopping this month and not all of them are yet here. Some took a while. So this is like take one of my book haul and I will do a second part as soon as the others arrive and probably whenever I get new books to be honest. And these are the ones I already got and I'm just gonna go through them. Now I'm gonna show you the book and I'm gonna read the back, so maybe you'll find a book that you also find intriguing and want to buy as well. So the first book is The Neighbor's Wife by Toni Parsons, which I already have shown you in my previous video. But well, I bought it this month, so it would be weird not to include it. And the back says, "One mistake can ruin your life. Tara Carver seems to have the perfect life. A loving wife and mother, she's the sort of person you'd want to live next door to, who might even become your best friend. But who is she really? In one act of madness, Tara puts all she loves at risk. The married man she spends one night with now wants a serious relationship. And he will not leave her or her family alone until she agrees. But then he's brutally murdered. And that's when Tara's troubles really begin." So what really hooked me was this plot twist. Like in the beginning I thought, oh okay, so you're gonna stalk her and, you know, go a bit like Joe Goldberg on her. But then he's like murdered and this entire thing became like also murder mystery. So I was officially hooked and I had to buy this book. And I'm really looking forward to reading this. Probably next month, hopefully. Then we have Pandora's Jar, Women in the Greek Myths by Natalie Haynes, which I actually already read and I loved. So the back says, "The Greek myths are among the world's most important cultural building blocks and have been retold many times. But I rarely focus on the remarkable women at the heart of these ancient stories. Modern tellers of Greek myth have usually been men, and have routinely shown little interest in telling women's narratives. And when they do, those women are often painted as monstrous, vengeful, and just plain evil. In Pandora's Jar, Natalie Haynes, broadcaster, writer, and passionate classicist, redresses the imbalance. After millennia of storytelling of gods and men, be they Zeus or Agamemnon, Paris or Odysseus, Oedipus or Jason, the voices that sing from these pages are those of Pandora, Clemenstra, Jocasta, Medea, Eurydice, and Penelope. And it was so worth it. It was beautiful. I really loved it. And I highly recommend it to everyone who likes Greek mythology and is very interested in like feminist writing. Next is Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Evaristo, which I meant to pick up since forever, but I never really came around doing that. So I saw it in a bookshop and I thought, alright, now's as good a time as ever. So I bought it and I mean, look at this cover. It's gorgeous. And the back says, "This is Britain as you've never read it. This is Britain as it has never been told. From the top of the country to the bottom, across more than a century of change and growth and struggle and life, Girl, Woman, Other follows 12 very different characters on an entwined journey of discovery. It is future, it is past, it is fiction, it is history. It is a novel about who we are now." And, you know, just from that, I really am looking forward to reading this, because I really think it's important that we start looking into the history of countries who especially benefited from the colonization. So I really think it's important that we give these people a voice and that we listen to other people's stories just as much as we listen to ours. And next is Daddy by Emma Klein. I also have finished that already. And the back says, "A man travels to his son's school to deal with the fallout of a violent attack to make sure his son will not lose his college place. A young woman trying to make it in LA, working in a clothes shop while taking acting classes, turns to a riskier way of making money. These razor-sharp stories append the simplest of relationships, cracking with the Seductive Darkness, also present in Klein's phenomenal bestseller The Girls. I actually have read this last bit when I got the book, and at first thought it's like a story, like one story about a man starting an affair with someone for money. But it is not that. It's a collection of short stories, and I really enjoyed it, and actually quite into short stories recently, which you will see in my January wrap-up. Because there are a lot of short stories on there. Then we have Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. Oh, and I also have another book. I have to just swiftly get that. Actually, I just got that today, so I totally forgot to take that out of my bag. Back to the book. So, this is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. And, funny story, I had that on my Christmas wish list, but I didn't get it on Christmas. So in January I thought, I'm just gonna get it because I really wanted to read it, and I did. And unfortunately my father had ordered it and it just came later, so it came like a few days ago, and now I have it twice. And I felt very, very horrible about it, but I called him and I was like, hiya, can I have it twice? What am I gonna do now? And he was like, oh, it's a big deal. You probably have a friend who wants to read that too. And I do. So I'm just going to give the second version to one of my friends. And I've read this one. And the back says, Aristotle is an angry teen with a brother in prison. Dante is a know-it-all with a unique perspective of life. When the two first meet, they seem to have nothing in common. But as they start spending time together, they develop a special friendship. The kind that changes lives and lasts a lifetime. Together, Ari and Dante will learn the most important truth about the universe. Love and the kind of people they want to be. And, you know, if that doesn't get you hooked, I don't know what will. It was so beautiful to read. And I'm so happy I did. And after I finished this, I've got the second part, which is called Aristotle and Dante Drive into the Waters of the World. And the back says, Ari spends his life hiding who he really is, staying silent and invisible. But something in him cracked open when he fell in love with Dante last summer, and he can't go back. Together the boys are determined to make themselves seen and heard in a world that challenges their very existence. But when Ari is faced with a shocking loss, he'll have to fight like never before to create a life that is truthful, youthfully his own. And while reading the first part, I realized that maybe that would be a perfect read for June, you know, Pride Month. But then I'm like, you can't read these stories all the time because they're just amazing. I love it. So I'll definitely read a lot of LGBTQ plus novels in Pride Month, but I probably will do so the entire year because I just really love these kind of novels. And yeah. So next book is The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss, and I just realized that a lot of these books I have already shown you, but I don't really care. That's that book, and the back says, Mary Jekyll, alone and penniless, following her parents' death, quickly finds herself drawn into the secrets of her father's mysterious past. A clue leads her to believe that Edward Hyde, her father's former friend and murderer, may be nearby. There is still a reward for information resulting in his capture, a reward that would solve all her immediate financial woes. But her hunt brings her not to Edward Hyde, but to Diana, his daughter, a near feral child left to be raised by nuns. With the assistance of Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson, Mary continues her search for the elusive Hyde, and soon gathers around her more women, all of whom have been created through terrifying experimentation. Beatrice Repechini, Catherine Moreau, and Justine Frankenstein. When their investigations lead them to the discovery of a secret society of immortal and power-crazed scientists, the horror of their past soon arrives in the doorsteps as well. And now it is up to the 5 women to stop the malicious machinations of the Société des Alchimistes. Quite simply, it is the time for the monsters to triumph over the monstrous. And I've seen that in like a newspaper for bookshops, and it sounded so intriguing, and there are like all of these literary classical figures in it. So I really, really want to read it. And again, the cover is so pretty. And yeah, so I'm also really looking forward to reading this one. And now, last but not least, we have Cherry by Nico Walker, which has this really ugly sticker on it, but it's like printed on. So yeah, I firstly, like, I was intrigued by it because of the title, because there's a song called Cherry I really like. So you know, I clicked on it and I saw what it was about. I saw it online, and the back says it is 2003 in Cleveland, Ohio, when our college freshman meets Emily and they fell hard and fast in love. But like so many young men with options running out, the Iraq War becomes. As an army medic, he is unprepared for the grisly reality that awaits him. His fellow soldiers smoke, they have computer duster, they watch porn, and many of them die. When he returns from Iraq, his PTSD is profound, and the drugs of the streets have changed. Soon he is hooked on heroin, and so is Emily. With their money drying up, he turns to the one thing he thinks he could be really good at, robbing banks. And this is like both very serious, but I just really like this last bit. Like, with no hope left, he thinks he's gonna be good at robbing banks. Like, I don't know why, but that was the moment where I was like, okay, I really have to read this book because I want to see how this is going. I'm gonna be honest with you, I want them to get away with it, because, you know, who wouldn't? And I just realized that this cover is like an illusion, and it looks a bit like a skull if you look very well in it. Yeah, I definitely could have picked that up a bit earlier, but I didn't. Again, a very nice picture, so yeah. It's a very pretty book too. I actually think every book is pretty in their own way. Like, I've never seen a book where I was like, oh my god, this is hideous. Like, there are some covers where I'm like, alright, wouldn't buy it because of the cover. Like, these shirtless men on covers, I don't get it. But it just makes it uncomfortable to look at, but not really hideous, because I just also think that bodies are quite aesthetic. But that could be a me thing. So it is a me thing. These are all the books I wanted to show you, and some of them you have already seen, and some of them you also will see again in my next video where I do my January wrap up. So I hope you don't mind that. But yeah, well, they're just kind of present in my life. There's nothing really I can do about that. So I really do hope you liked this video, and I hope this maybe gave you a new book idea you want to try out. Maybe you found some of these books particularly intriguing and want to get them yourself. Maybe you have already read one of these, and then you can definitely leave your opinion on them down in the comments. You can also, again, leave book recommendations for me and each other in the comment section. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day and beautiful week, and I will all see you in my next video. Bye!